Welcome to math for 6th grade. This is lesson 149. Not sure if you guys noticed, you might have, and probably were laughing at me all week, but I got off on my days somehow, and so today's the 17th, and so some of the lessons, the Bible lesson would have had the 16th on the board, and then yesterday would have said the 15th, and so it was, I got off somehow, and I must have missed a day or something. But that's okay. We're going to get started with some review. Let's do some flashcards that we've done before, and then I'm going to let you take your speed drill, and you have 2 minutes and 30 seconds for the speed drill. And so you can, you can pause the video after these flashcards, take your speed drill, and then when you come back, we're gonna get into our temperatures and how to convert them, okay? All right, so let's start with this. What is the number in the box, the answer to a subtraction problem? What's the name for that? The difference. Very good. Hopefully you got that. We haven't done these in a little while, but hopefully you're remembering. And then what about the answer to an addition problem? The sum. All right. And what does this sign mean? The sign means greater than, and I'm going to show the other side because it's easier to see with numbers, right? So 9 is greater than 4. Okay. All right. What is this fraction? 1/4. How about this one? 1/3 and 1/2. All right. I knew you guys would get those faster. And then this sign is less than. All right, so 2 is less than 5. Very good. Turn that back around. All right, inches in a yard, 36 ounces in a pound, 16 feet in a yard, 3 months in a year, 12 days in a week, 7, how about seconds in a minute, 60 hours in a day, 24 hours in a minute, 60 inches in a foot, 12 quarts in a gallon, 4 pints or cups in a pint, 2 pints in a quart, 2, right? Remember, those go in that order. So 2 cups in a pint, 2 pints in a quart, and then 2 times 4 is 4, and 4 quarts are in a gallon, okay? About how many weeks? 52 days in a year, 365 leap year, 366. All right, so these ones are what we're working on right now. Boiling point of water Fahrenheit, 212. What about freezing point Celsius? 0. Freezing point Fahrenheit, 32. Normal body temperature Fahrenheit, 98.6. Okay, so make sure you know that one. That one got, everyone was a little tricky on that, so you always tended to mix that up. So 98.6, and then boiling point Celsius, 100. Normal body temperature Celsius, 37. Very good. All right, I'll let you pause the video, take your speed drill, do well. When you come back, we're going to look at our Fahrenheit to Celsius. All right, I hope you did well on that speed drill. You have, this is for Friday. I'm way off on my days. I'm thinking that this is for Monday. But you have a test next Wednesday in math, so I want to make sure that you are understanding these formulas with Fahrenheit and Celsius and all the other formulas that we've been doing. I'll have to check the test to see exactly what's on there, and I'll let you know the next lesson if you need to know one of these for the test. Since these are newer, they may not be on this test, but you should remember all of your other formulas, area and perimeter and circumference, and for the circle for that. So let's take a look at our board, and we're going to convert some of these. So if we have 33 degrees Celsius, okay, we're going to go and we're going to use the very first one. F equals 9/5 times C plus 32. Okay, now do we add the 32 first or do we multiply first? We multiply first, right? Because our order of operations is parentheses, powers, multiplication and division in that order, in the order that they come, from left to right, and then addition and subtraction from left to right in the order that they come, okay? So that's our order of operations, just a review of that so that you guys remember that. But up here, if we put F equals 9/5, and if we multiply times 33 over 1, and then we have our plus 32 over here. Now, when we did them before, we had numbers that we could divide 5 by, right? Now, in this case, can we take 5 into 33 evenly? We can't, okay? So we are gonna have to do this, and I would suggest doing this in a different spot and multiplying, 33 times 9, okay? So you're gonna multiply 33 times 9, 9 times 3 is 27, carry the 2, 9 times 3 is 27, plus 2 is 29. So we have 297. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take this number, because that really would be the number that would go on top, right? 297, we'd put it over 5. So we're gonna divide it by 5. We don't need to put it right here because we would just be taking up that space. But what I can do is just erase that and change this into a division problem. 5 into 29, can we take it into 2? No, okay. So 5 into 29 goes 5 times. We get 25. 9 minus 5 is 4. 2 minus 2 is 0. 4 is less than 5, so we're good. We bring down our 7. 5 into 47 goes 9 times, okay? And then 9 times 5 is 45. Okay, minus 2. I like to make, it's easiest if you make a fraction. So then you can see, okay, 2/5 is 2/5 more than half or less than half of a fraction, okay? So it would be less than half because half is actually 2.5. If you know, a half of 5 is 2.5. So it's 2.5. So 2/5 would be less than a half. So we could round this to 59 degrees, okay? We're gonna use this rounding because we wanna just get the closest degree. It doesn't have to be exact. We're not, this isn't for like a chemistry experiment or something. So we just need to know the closest degree. Okay, so this time it would be 59, and then we add our 32 to get what Fahrenheit. If the Celsius is 33, our Fahrenheit is gonna be 91 degrees, okay? So 91 degrees is Fahrenheit to 33 degrees Celsius, okay? So that's our formula. I hope that made sense. That rounding is just to see if you're, just to get the closest degree. It doesn't have to be exact, so we just round it. So if it's more than half, or if you were, if it was 0.5 or larger, if you knew the decimal when you were doing it, and turned it into a decimal, or you went farther and turned it into a decimal, then if it was less than 5, then it would stay, or 4 to 0, it would stay the same. 5 to 9 would go up to the next, round up to the next number. So that's how to do that. And so what we're going to do is now we are going to show, I'm going to show you how to use the next formula. So I'm going to move this over so that you can see everything. Okay. And we're going to convert two of these. We're going to convert 86 degrees Fahrenheit and 122 degrees Fahrenheit, okay? So now we have the number here. We have our Fahrenheit number, so we're going Celsius. We're converting Fahrenheit to Celsius. We want the Celsius, okay? So whatever letters on the outside is what we're looking for, right? So F is equal to 9/5 times C plus 32. That means that 9/5 times C, we are given the Celsius, we multiply that, then we add 32 like we just did. But if we're given Fahrenheit and we want Celsius, the formula is C times 5/9, so we reverse it, our fraction is reversed, 5/9 times F minus 32, but this is in parentheses, okay? And in our order of operations, would we multiply first or would we do what's in parentheses first? We do what's in parentheses first, okay? So C equals 5/9, and it will do 86 first, 86 minus 32, okay? So first of all, we've got 5/9, and we're going to subtract this. So you can stack it if you need to, or if you can do mental. 6 minus 2 is 4, 8 minus 3 is 5, okay? A lot of times, especially with these first few ones, they're going to give you this, but check to see if this number is divisible by 9. Because if it is, then you can cancel like we did with the 5s at the beginning. When we were doing that one, we could cancel with the 5. Can 9 go into 54? Yes, it can. So this time we would just, 9 divided by 9 is 1, 54 divided by 9 is 6, okay? So now we have 5 times 6, which is 30 degrees. Okay, so C equals 30 degrees. So if it's 86 degrees Fahrenheit, it's 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, I'm going to erase this and we are going to do the second one. I'm not going to erase all of it. I'm going to make it easy on myself. So 122 is what we're putting in for F. Okay, in this case, I'm going to do it this way because I want to make sure I get it right. So that would be 0, and then 12 minus 3 is 9. So it's 90, 5/9 times 90. Now, is 90 divisible by 9? Yes, it is. Okay, and tilt this. I think there was a glare. Hopefully that's better. Okay, so 9 divided by 9 is 1. 90 divided by 9 is 10, okay, so now we have 5 times 10, so C equals 50 degrees. So if it's 122 degrees Fahrenheit, it's 50 degrees Celsius. Okay, you see how that conversion works. And so these are the formulas that they used to find that. You can plug in these numbers and you can get the what that is. So if you were to plug in, here, let me show you. C equals 5/9. If we were to plug in the freezing point of Fahrenheit, 32 degrees, we subtract 32 degrees equals 5/9. And 32 minus 32 is what? 0. And anything times 0 is what? 0. There you get your 0 degrees Celsius for 32 degrees Fahrenheit. You see how that works? We could even plug in 0 into our formula here. And I just erased something else I needed, but that's okay. I'll find that again. So if we put in 0 degrees, okay, so 9/5 times 0 would get you what? 0. Add 32. Fahrenheit degrees is 32. You see how you can plug in the numbers of the ones that we already know are those, is the conversion, and it works in the formula, okay? So it's not just that they decided that 32 degrees was Fahrenheit and 0 degrees was Celsius and someone just came up with this. The scale that they use is based on these formulas, okay? All right, so I'm going to do one more. We're going to do a proportion. Let me get that back up here. All right. Hold on a second. All right, so here we have 7 divided by x equals 9/25, okay, or 9 divided by 25. And so for this, remember our proportions, in order to do this, the easiest thing, really the only way to do this that I know of is to cross multiply. So you're going to multiply, and so 9 times x equals 7 times 25, okay? Sometimes you'll be able to do the mental math and you won't have to write this out, and sometimes you have to write it out. So 25 times 7, I'm going to have to write it out because I am not remembering. All right, so 9x equals 175. Okay, so now we can just divide, right? Okay, and x is equal to, 9 goes into 17 one time. I may have to divide this. So, you know, even sometimes I have to do the work, the problem out like this, so don't worry about that. Sometimes I can do it mentally. I got to 85 in my head, and I couldn't think of how to get it in there. So it would be 9 times, which would be 81, which would give us 4, which would then be, so 19 and 4/9. So just make it a fraction if you get that far. Unless it tells you otherwise, you can just make that a fraction because these were fractions to begin with. And so it was, unless this had gone in evenly, then you just do a fraction. So 19 and 4/9. We could, if we were to plug this in, I would start at this point, and just do it from there, because then you would have 9 times 19/4/9 equals 175. So then you multiply that, and you would see that it comes out to 175 on both sides, okay? You'd have to turn that into an improper fraction or have a decimal if you did the decimal. So, but we're just gonna leave it at that because I know I did my division correctly. So, But that is another, that's one of our, you're gonna have that on B, in section 4 is one of those. And so just make it you're gonna need to get a fraction, and so do that. You don't have to check these ones. I normally check them, but it doesn't have you checking them for these. So just as long as you get your answers, as long as you do everything else right, and it makes sense what you get for X, you can mentally say, okay, well, if 2x equals 12, and you get whatever you get for X, if it would make sense to say 2 times this is 12, then go with that, okay? If it doesn't make sense, if you're getting like a really large number and you really think that it should be a small number, double check your work, okay? If you're getting a really small number and you really think it should be a larger number, just double check that, and so you can do that. All right, so let me give you what you're gonna be doing. All right, so in section 1, I'm going to have you do all of those because those are the formula we're working on right now. That's the C formula. So for Celsius, to get from Fahrenheit to Celsius, we start with C. I know that gets confusing. It's a little confusing in my head, so I have to really think through it. But if you're looking for Fahrenheit, that's the letter that's gonna be in the front. If you're looking for Celsius, that's the letter it's gonna be at the front, okay? So do all of section 1, do section 2. For section 3, if you're getting this and you get the concept, I'm just gonna do 3 of them, pick 3. Section 4, do A, B, and C. You don't have to do the D, the green problem. And if you turn it over to the review section, pick 2 of them to do for the area in 5, pick 1 of them to do in 6. And so that is asking for that area. Let's go ahead and do 7 and 8 because those we should get a little bit more review on those. I don't think we've seen those on a page in a while. And then 9, pick 4 of them. There are 8, so pick half of them to do. And so do your best. If you're really struggling on one of these, something here, we've got the test coming up just on Wednesday next week, so I don't want you to be completely lost for the test. I know we went over that on the Zoom, that just wanting to make sure that you guys are saying something if you're completely lost. So I know this is very different to do schooling this way, and I miss you guys in the classroom, but I do want you to make sure that you're letting me know or letting your parents know so they can talk with me if you're really struggling on something and you don't get a concept, okay? I can jump on a Zoom like I did before and go over a concept or something if you really need it. So, but I'll let you get to work and have a good Friday.